Hello, and welcome to a first look at Knock on the Coffin Lid. This is a roguelike deck builder. I believe it was in early access for a while, just came into 1.0 last week on the 8th. I was going to cover it a little sooner, but I was caught up in a few other things. So I'm here now. I was sent a key by the developers. I always like to disclose that off the top, and I also like to disclose I like this game. I think it's very cool. I'll talk about my pros and cons for you as we go through a few of the things that I've seen. I've played about 5 hours of it so far. I did a stream of it the other night, and so I can speak a little bit to the criticisms that I've been hearing as well. But first of all, this is published and developed by a studio called Red Boon, who I think this is their first game. Yeah, it is. They have a prologue you can go play. There's a separate game called Knock on the Coffin Lid Prologue, which is, I assume, a demo you can check out the game for. And this game is $20 until the 22nd of August, when it will become $25. So what is this game? Conceptually, this is a roguelike deck builder where you are trapped in a time loop, and basically you just build knowledge through that. The thing that hooked me about this game, which I will show you when we get into the story mode. So there's I believe a challenge mode, which I haven't played, which is like a true roguelike experience. But what I think is very fun is the story mode, which we'll talk about after I show you the settings menu. Nothing too spectacular. I have the ability to turn on fast mode. You can turn off the like narrator comments if you don't like them. It has a guy who just lets you have little comments like the Darkest Dungeon guy does. Graphics options, gameplay options, audio options, nothing too exciting in here. It's in, I can't change, you can change the language. I think it's in these languages, but at the start when I picked my language, it said that there are more planned and they aren't finished or something like that, unless I'm mixing that up with a different game, which I don't think I am. I'm pretty sure this one has like more translations on the way if your native isn't one of these languages, which most likely if you're hearing this, you're probably an English speaker natively, but there's nuance to some things that maybe you don't understand. Anyway, let's get to it. So I'm gonna hop right into the story. Continue. Really? Where's this put me? Okay, it puts me right. So you can start the whole story campaign over. Okay, so this game has a lot of actual story built in, which is normally something that I would be like, oh, well, I'm just going to skip past this. But the story in this game is delivered in a way that I don't find obnoxious. It's pretty quick and doesn't intrude on the gameplay, which is good. But if you start fresh on a fresh file, it will be the very beginning of the story and not the start of this cycle, basically. So first I'll go into change class and difficulty. The most important thing to note here, first of all, 4 classes, but there are 4 difficulties, and if you are early on in your save file and you play these harder difficulties, you are just going to get flattened. It is it's a mechanical thing. I'm guessing anyway, but you'll see what I mean as we get into it. There are choices that change based on how far into the unlocks you are, which is important. So let's get to it, and I will run you through things. Hey, he's knocking on the coffin lid. That's the name of the game. Whoa, and credits. Okay. Oh, they're gonna speak.
I didn't want to trudge through the fetid swamps, but there was nothing attractive about going through the territory of the orcs either.
So the story is going to be a little bit, you're missing a little bit of context. My last run, I went to the orc territory instead of the swamp territory, is what he's talking about.
I couldn't decide which way would take me to the northern gate more easily.
There are certain rumors about the Rotten Bog, although they could be neither confirmed nor denied, as it's not known whether anyone has ever returned alive. The earthworms of the Crimson Steppes are gigantic carnivorous beasts, and the orcs who hunt the worms are no less dangerous than them. Did you say more easily?
And that's the depth of the story as it's displayed anyway. There's there'll be little quips here and there and little dialogue pieces when you do certain things, but they don't it's that long pretty much. So here's how it works, right? Here's our map. The map is fixed. So we start at the top here and we get to pick our path. you'll see there's a bunch of unknown events, but some of these events I've already gone to. So like this event, I've already been here, so I know that this is bees, and I can go do different things based on that. I know that this one is the one where the bandit is dying, and I think this is the one where the dwarf is stuck in the treasure chest. But the pathing, you can path with knowledge of what you've done so far. So like here, for example, I went in a run prior to this and I saw this troll, and I had to fight him because my character was like, I gotta fight him. There's nothing else to do, right? And then the troll, as I'm killing him, is like, man, I sure don't want to die. I just want peace, or something like that, right? So that's the idea. And then which boss you fight is going to determine which act you go into for Act 2. You can either go through the swamp, which is this one, or you can go through the mountains over here. And the different bosses give different things. Now, in your inventory, you have gear, which basically acts as relics, and some of them have set bonuses, which we'll see as we go through. And you have potions, which you can pick up and use at any time. And let's just get to it, shall we? I think that I will go a different path, and we'll just go top left this time. So, the first thing that... Ooh, I've never seen this guy before. The first thing that you're going to notice as we get deeper in is that there are a lot of cards that are just pure... you're going to go, hey, this was in Slay the Spire, like 1 for 1. So for example, there is Disarm. It is just called Disarm, and it is an enemy loses 3 strength, consume. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. If you think there's something wrong with that, that's fine. But I'm not going to talk about it anymore. But basically my stance on that is I don't care. The core of this game is not super tight deck building mechanics. Disarm in this game is different than it is in Slay the Spire, but I know a lot of people are going to go, man, this is just Slay the Spire's cards. Yeah, and does Slay the Spire have the equipment system, for example? Anyway, I just wanted to address that at the start. I'm not going to talk about it any further. Now, mechanically, it's very simple. Draw 5 cards, gain 3 energy. These cards that say adaptive, the game is pretty good about letting you see what everything does. But adaptive is basically your starting cards can be upgraded into, they have different options. The enemy sets their intent, he starts with evasion as well, and we win by killing him. It's straightforward. Oh yeah, and then this guy starts with 5 armor, which is block at the end of every turn, and if you don't take damage, you gain strength. So we naturally scale over the course of the fight, basically. And that's pretty much all you need to know. Oh, there is one thing that is a little strange about this game. As you can see it there, if you look closely. When you draw your deck, especially in the first fight, it reshuffles before, or no, it reshuffles after you draw. I don't know exactly how to put it into words, but you're always going to draw the exact same 5-card hand at the end of every turn. In the first fight. It doesn't matter a lot because the first fights are fine, but sometimes you get a bad draw order into Boar, and you get kind of crushed. I took a lot of damage into a Boar. Deal 9 damage if the enemy is exposed, which is vulnerable. Deal the same damage once again. Gain 4 strength for 1 attack. If the character is exposed, the effect is doubled. Burn, gain 1 energy. You can hover over the blue to understand what things do, and the game is pretty good at doing the nested menus. I'll take Exterminate. Actually, I think all of these are kind of bad, but I'll do Exterminate here. And we get to pick up an equipment piece. Double Axe, gain 2 strength and 2 armor. Iron Helmet, gain 2 armor and 2 strength. Assault Shield. If there is no block at the end of the turn, gain 10 block. So some of these cards, or some of these relics will also come with cards. So if I take the Assault Shield, I will gain these cards added to my deck. These other ones don't have it. It's sort of like if you played Banners of Ruin, it has that sort of a mechanic. Double Axe requires both hands, so I think Iron Helmet is a little better, because it's the same effect for only 1 equipment slot. And so we'll just put that on right away, and we will go to this event. And I'm just going to play through the first act so you can get the feel for it. And you can make... I was hooked on my second run through, personally. When I saw the event and went, whoa, I can do something different here for the first time, I was in. A drunken dwarf had apparently decided to pick a fight with some elves. I happened to encounter him on his way to an elven outpost. After rudely telling me off, he proceeded to invite me to follow him to pay a visit to some of those haughty elves. Realize that no matter what I decide, drunken dwarves demand delicate diplomacy. I can give him elven ale if I have it. So you can, like, presumably you could come here after picking up some ale. I'll go fight some elves with him. There's like a morality system, so this action made me eviler, but I haven't figured out what it does. So I had to humor him and see what would happen, so we went to pay a visit to the elves. You act shocked when the elves call your people traitors. Look, the elves, I just got attacked by one. Not my fault. These are the elves, by the way. I wonder if this guy's on my team. Deals damage to an ally, moves random cards from the draw pile to the discard pile. That seems bad. But he has taunt, so all of the enemies are going to hit on him. Oh yeah, also of note, when you pick up equipment, you do see it on your guy, so you can see the helmet we put on now. Anyway, let's get into it. And then this dwarf, he gains, if you play 2 cards of the same type, all of the dwarves, it seems, do double damage. So I took 4 damage instead of 2 because I buffed him up. The game does, I think, personally, I like it more in games like this if they are... How do I put it? I want things like that attack to always go last on me, right? Like, I want my passive block to block that hit. And I think it's a little bit of a shame that it doesn't work that way. Again, not a huge deal, just of note. And so, again, this icon is evasion, so if you see that, they will dodge the next attack you throw at them. This dude's just sitting here drinking beer and roaring. Here, I can turn the animation speed down a little bit. I was doing something very grindy last time, so I just turned it on and cranked it up. I tend to just go fast on deck builders because I feel pretty confident in my ability to pick them up. I don't really care if our dwarf buddy gets hit. He is hitting me for 4 though. Yeah, you don't need to take 4 damage here. Yeah, it sort of goes like he attacks me at the same time as the armor, so it goes through onto my health, which is a shame, but you know, no big deal. He's gonna roar, and this fight's a wrap. It doesn't seem super challenging on normal mode, which is good, for sure. Very good. I think that the difficulty is comfortable and you can get through the story nicely. But again, I haven't tried out the roguelike mode. Deal 6 damage if the enemy is exposed, gain 10 block, gain 3 disarmed, attacks cannot be played. For 3 turns, gain 5 HP, 2 armor, and burn 2 status cards at the start of the turn. So basically take 3 turns off of attacking for some healing, armor, and I think this is not very good. Random card in hand costs 0 till the end of battle. On off. I'll actually skip. I'm not too into any of those. Start of the battle, inflict 4 weakness on all enemies. That seems very strong. Start of the turn, draw 2 jabs. And jab is burn, deal 6 damage. Oh, that seems good. Shoot a purification. At the start of the turn, gain 4 block for each burned card. I don't fully know what this means. I'm not sure if this means gain 4 block for every burned card for the whole fight. So like every time you exhaust a card, this is going to give you more and more block. But if you think about this game, you have to learn the numbers basically, because a lot of the enemies are scaling up on you faster than you would expect. In my experience, anyway. So I fought a guy, I was like, oh, he's not doing much, and then he started hitting me for 70 per turn. And I went, oh, okay. My bad, my bad. Let's fight.
Your fellows in misery didn't show you sympathy and didn't expect compassion from you.
With severe wounds gains second wind. I'm gonna obliterate this man. So this icon here, what we just saw, the piercing damage inflicts bone, like it makes it so that enemies take more damage from piercing, so you get to like stack up specifically piercing damage. Anyway, this guy's a fucking loser. Achievement got for that one. Here we go. Deal 4 damage when dealing damage, inflict 2 exposed. I've been waiting for this card. Or deal 4 damage to all enemies when dealing damage, inflict 1 exposed. But this is better, for sure. You'll see though, right? If you are unsure of what I meant, this is Thunderclap, this is Spot Weakness, right? And again, want to just make sure I make my stance clear. I said I wasn't going to talk about it, but there it is if you were curious about how much it's going to be similar. It doesn't matter though, because the context of those cards is very different. I opened the treasure chest. $74, sweet. Here's the set bonus item, not the Orc's Boots. This is lose to agility, which is dexterity. plus block per stack. But then you heal for 2 HP. Is it gain? It might be gain 2 max HP if you do 20 or more damage. That would be actually kind of strong. Elven Boots is a set bonus. So if we equip more Elven armor, we get these bonuses per stack. And it looks like if you get a 5 stack, it's very strong. I would like to see what Mist does, please. I don't know if it's going to show me. Maybe if I right click on it? No. I can't. Oh, here it is. There it is. Negates the next attack played. Oh, cool. So basically what this does is it gives you evasion, which lets you dodge attacks, and then when you dodge, if the enemy attacks into you, you then negate their next attack if you get all 5 pieces. Wormhead, gain 3 barbed, and when taking damage, inflict bleeding. So this is gain spikes, and if they hit into you, you bleed them. I'll try the Orc Boots. I think that's okay. I want to see if they actually give me max HP. So I'm going to be blocking for less, but potentially scaling my HP. And I want to go see this Dying Bandit. So this is an event that I've seen before. Came across a man lying in a pool of blood on the roadside. He was alive, but just barely. I was tempted to help him, but he was also clearly a bandit. So I can either give him my healing potion, which I started the game with, or kill him. I know what I get for killing him. I get an item. So let's see what happens if we give him the Elixir of Recovery. Gave him a healing elixir. When he came around, I questioned him. He was a bandit, just as I had suspected. When he tried to double-cross his partners in crime, they gutted him. He pointed me in the direction that they had gone. Ooh. So I can have him come with me. I can leave it alone, or I can confront. And these question marks mean that since I haven't done this, I don't know what I get for it. I'll take him with me. Oh, I'm good now. So you're all alone now and have nowhere to go. I guess so. Come with me. Alright, but all acquired gold will be split between us. Oh. Actually did want to help you when I offered you my company. Mine and all being your companion, but if you need a servant or a squire, I'm not the right man, so what do you say? Agree. So he'll join my party like the dwarf did and fight with me? Sure. He can have half my gold. I'm down with that. And then we'll go... Treasure doesn't really matter. Oh, and this is the treasure chest where the dwarf is hiding. Can I get him to come with me too? Well, I know this one. If I sit on the lid, he joins me, and if I open the chest, he fights me. So what happens if I just leave? Oh, nothing. Okay. Wasn't sure if he would, like, pop out anyway. But so that's an example. The first time you encounter that event, you don't know that he's in there, so you just open it up naturally, and then he starts fighting you. But if you sit on it and then you get to talk to him, it's a little different. Wait, this guy is strong as hell. 150 health? Damn. Why is my HP down by 20, I wonder? I thought I was supposed to start at 100. I guess it doesn't matter. 15, so I need to get to... I need to not take damage so that I can potentially scale my strength up to see if this orcish armor lets me scale HP. Because if it's just heal 2 on hit, it's not very good. I think I just stole one of my cards. Hey. 19, I'm 1 off. Since he dodged, I don't actually hurt him. Bane's block. Surviving Bandit is his name. I need to let my armor or my strength scale up through my passive. That way we can see what happens here. But what I've noticed in this game, just intuitively from a little bit of playing it, is that sometimes your draws will look very similar over and over. He's gonna give me 2 jabs. That's kind of good. Could maybe just play around that. Interesting. I have found that this game does seem to put me into a position of I should just perma-scale, and I can't fight my demons. Okay, it is just heal too. I think that these boots are not very good. Deal 9 damage, move a card of your choice from the discard pile to the top of the draw pile. Gain 3 block and 1 agility. Draw a random skill, it becomes ethereal and has to be burned. I don't really see... you know what, maybe this adds it to your hand. Like, you just get a random card added. Because to me, what this reads is draw a card from your deck. I'm going to take gain 3 block and 1 agility. None, but you get deal 10 damage, reset the cost of attacks in hand to 0 before use. And deal 12 damage, draw 1. Gain 2 armor and 2 agility. Start of the turn, draw 1. Oh. Okay, I'll take that. This game, if you're wondering, because cost downs are permanent. So if you, not permanent, but like if you -1 a card for a round, it stays -1 for the rest of the round, basically. This game does have an anti-infinite system though. If you play a card too many times, I don't fully understand when it happens, but if you play a card too many times, you will get in its place after you play it a ethereal curse, which goes away at the end of your turn and is free to play. And that ethereal curse will give you an ethereal curse which is unplayable, basically, and just takes up a slot in your hand. So they load you up with garbage to stop you from going infinite, but the garbage doesn't hurt you. Increase max HP by 20, gain 5 armor and 3 ward, which is negate the next debuff. Gain 10 strength, lose 5 agility. Deal 14 damage, strength affects this card 5 times, a 1-off big hit. Start the turn, gain 1 strength and lose 1 agility. So orcs are just about going ham. I'm actually down for this orcs axe. That seems strong enough. And then we'll see the boss here. I can put on my shield. Draw a card. What is this? This is gain 2 armor and 2 strength. I think I'll actually take gain 2 armor and 2 strength here then. Draw +1 is pretty good though. Draw 2 jabs is also pretty good though. It's okay. And then campsites are campsites. You know how this works. You either upgrade a card or heal. I don't need to heal because I'm full HP. So you can see if I look at guard here, I can upgrade it into 1 of 3 options. And the same thing for lunge, 1 of 3 options. The interesting one is you can turn your lunges and your guards into scaling. Damage from lunges is increased by 1. So you can basically turn every lunge into a claw, which is super interesting to me. This goes up to gain 4 armor. This loses burn, but I don't know if it's all that good. I mean, it's pretty good, but we'll go for the scaling lunges. It doesn't, I don't actually know if you can remove cards from your deck. Oh, you know what? You can. There's a shop that lets you do it, but it doesn't feel all that important. This is a different boss than I fought last time, so it's multiple bosses to finish the act. At the end of the journey, the Archroot of Elves was waiting for me. In my previous life, I would have been glad to meet him, but now I just could not get used to the idea that the elves were now our enemies. A little bit of a lore drop. When injured, changes intent. Oh, yuck. Ew. Okay, we're gonna start scaling on his wolves.
Executed.
Executed. You will pay for this. Upon an ally's death, gain strength and restores health. Is my friend gonna hit him and have him change? No, okay. That would not have been great. Oh, he puts up, sorry, spikes, or sorry, thorns, or sorry, what's it called in this game? Barbs. Bro, I 4 different deck builders, and I got 4 different words for spikes. Spikes, thorns, teeth, barbs. It's fine. He's gonna call the boys. I'm gonna beat him down.
You got wounded.
Thank you. Thanks for the tip. Oh shit! What the hell? He's hot. Oh fuck. I see. So if you hit him enough, he turns hot. Gotcha. Thank you to my good buddy for blocking for himself and not me. I'm just gonna kill this guy. Never mind, I am not just gonna kill this guy. I have spoken with the partners. We have decided to not just kill this guy. 2 jabs is... Wait, he puts them in your deck? Bro, you're just mucking up the draws? Getting trolled by my ally. It's okay, this guy's dead as hell. I'm gonna blow him, and then he dies. He is killed. Double current strength. Swap the effects of strength and agility. Whoa! So you can just gain a bunch of shields off of all of the orc armor. That's cool. Gain an energy, draw 2. Of note here is that this doesn't let you go over the cap. So if you play this first in your turn, you do just waste the energy. I'll take this one. We get a talisman. Gain an energy upon enemy's death each turn. Gain 1 energy and draw an extra card. Gain energy at the start of the turn. Gain a strength and lose an agility. Immune for the first 4 turns, but block cannot be gained. That seems kind of good with the orc gear, actually. I'll take that. A crystal? Oh, this is a talisman. I think I know what this does. I think I know what slot this goes in anyway. I think you only get one of these. Upon playing, the Will of the Forest Spirits restore 20 health to the hero and allies. Gain a random effect, Barb, Strength, or Balm for each card in hand. Whoa, that's crazy. And then this is an Elven piece, so if I was going for Elf gear. And then a potion. Take the Armor Potion here. And then this, so I killed this guy, I go to the bog. And you can read that if you would like. I just want to show you the bog real quick, and then I'm going to wrap up. The bog does always end in the same boss, it looks like, because I fought this lady before. But then you can path differently through it. You can see I've seen like big mosquitoes here, which is just a fight. And conceptually, I think that this mapping system is very cool, and playing this through as a campaign is sweet. What I don't know is if it changes every time you play again. There's a few things, basically, that I don't know, but you can learn it for yourself by picking up the game, is my stance. Because I really, really like this game. I thought this game, I was very impressed the first time. So, I'm going to wrap it up here, though. I'm thinking I'm going to try making the first looks a little shorter so that, I don't know. I don't need to play through the second act. You get the idea, and it's an easy little sampler. Anyway, thank you for watching. My final recommendation is I think this game is super cool. It hasn't given me any like bugs or anything like that. And just from an aesthetic standpoint, I really like it. The story is cool. It's not like overblown or in your face. It doesn't take too much of my time for them to tell me the story over a long period of time, which I'm down with. If you enjoyed, don't forget to leave me a like, subscribe if you want to see more, and I will see you in the next one. Have a good one.